talk about this, but the Lord laid this on my heart. Marriage is just a piece of paper. Wrong. Marriage is not the piece of paper. Marriage is the covenant. The piece of paper holds you accountable to keep your word within that covenant. Well, I didn't sign up for this. Yes, you did. You just didn't read the small print. There's nothing in life where people are going to just take your word for it. Whether you get a job, you sign a handbook that says I can terminate without excuse at any point. They can't fire me. Yeah, you signed it. You just didn't read it. Apple, your phone. You just want to hurry up and skirt through. Yes, you have to click that box. Do I agree to the terms and agreements? Whether you read that or not. Whether you read it or not, you are held accountable to that contract. Whether it be an apartment, if you cut that lease early, you're in trouble. You will receive a penalty for not upholding the contract. This keeps stress and headache. If people have enough sense in the business sense to hold people to a pen and a piece of paper to get stuff in writing, marriage should be the same. Because too many people are hopping from bed to bed, and the disease epidemic is asinine. It's out there. We're starting to see that God meant what he said and he meant it a certain way. And I'm going to speak to very two quick points. I had a friend, and he went through 2 divorces, and he was, and of course, after legally being bound to 2 divorces, now he don't believe in the government being in your business. No, you paid a lot of money. It's always about the money, because you don't care if the government was in your business, because you wouldn't even let God be in your business because you cheated on that woman. It ain't about who's in your business. It's about who you don't want to be accountable to. And so much so he said, well, I got 2 wives right now. I said, no, you're fornicating. You got 2 girlfriends in 2 different states. And this is exactly why you should have a legal document to keep your word to a marriage covenant. Because if you wanted to walk off, you can. And 2 people are left in the shadows with kids. Number 2, if it's just a piece of paper, and if it's just like signing a receipt, then go ahead and sign it. What's the big deal? You know, I won't even put in a tip. I'll mark it or I'll write it, then I'll sign it. So nobody can go in and physically write in the tip. You understand that everything you sign is a legally binding contract. If you write that signature in and leave that blank, somebody can go in and add the tip and say you've done it. And your signature is on that piece of paper. Everything is a legally binding contract. But marriage is a covenant, as the Lord would tell me, and it's not the piece of paper. The piece of paper holds you accountable to that covenant. And what you signed up for is to love, honor, and respect your husband. What you signed up for is to love her as Christ loved the church and give yourself sacrificially for her as Christ did. What you signed up for is if you don't treat her right, he won't even answer your prayers. Well, I didn't know all that. It's not my fault. You just check terms and agreement. You agree to terms and agreement, but you did not read the small print. Highly recommend before you get into marriage to read the small print. But you will be held accountable. Hebrews chapter 13, 5 and 6 says,